Treasure the Torah. Thank you so much for the contribution. Appreciate that. What's up, fellas? I was just wondering, for the first game of the season against Notre Dame, depending on how that goes, what to expect something similar to the 10-2 season last year. Well, we hope not.
Yeah, 10-2 is not going to be smiled upon around these parts. I think I've seen a lot of the futures sites saying that, Ohio State 11, and, generally you don't see 12 as a number out there because, things do happen. But I think 10-2 would be a disappointment. I mean, to be honest, Ryan Day goes in, shuffles the coaching staff up. 10-2 means that either, there are a lot of things I don't want to speak into existence. You're doing this without some key pieces, or the defense just wasn't able to do it, or I don't know. But I would still sit there and say that the belief amongst generally all of the observers is that this, kind of 11-1 is kind of the tipping point. And then, where does it go from there? And that's not necessarily identifying one game over another as being the one that they could stumble, because honestly, we've seen the years where nobody was going in saying Iowa or Purdue necessarily, other than the people that just look at the schedule and say, well, that's the one road game that doesn't make sense to me, so therefore I'm going to call it a trap game. That's my view.
Yeah, you look at the schedule, and they're going to be at least 9-point favorites in every game until they lose one and things get adjusted. So they're going to be favored in every game, so they should win every game. But it doesn't actually always turn out to be what actually happens. So I think, 10-2 would be bad. And as Ryan Day said, this spring you're not allowed to lose games at Ohio State. Certainly not allowed to lose 2. And if you do it too many times, you're not going to get fired for it, but you might get fired for that rare three loss season that pops up. Because if you can lose 2, you can lose 3. But I'm thinking I'd be much less surprised to see 11-1 than a 10-2, and I'd probably be more surprised to see 10-2 than 12-0.
Yeah, when you're picked top 2 going into the season, you don't make the playoff and don't play for the national championship, don't win the Big Ten, don't beat Michigan, then those are all problems. So that's the predicament they're in right now. They have no wiggle room. They have no margin for error. They need to go 13-0. And, that's just the way it is. When you have I say he's once a generation quarterback with CJ Stroud, but he's really not all that much different or better than Haskins and Fields. They were all great players. But when you have that kind of player and don't capitalize on it and at least win the Big Ten, beat Michigan, and get to the playoff, and, with Fields, they did win one playoff game, which was good. Then you have underachieved, I think. You can't stack top 5 class, top 4, top 3 class on top of another and not play for the national championship, occasionally. So, granted, they did do that in 2020, and I think people are looking for it to happen again in 2022.
I thought they won 2 playoff games with Fields. No, okay, that's right.
No, they were 0-1.
Yeah.
They had Clemson on the ropes. And
that's right.
Yeah.
Some
bad reffing.
that one.